Hello, everyone. My name is Bob Janice Dillon, and I'm honored to serve as minister for 3 congregations in Northwest England. And today, in lieu of a weekly worship service, what we're going to have instead are 3 short meditations, and this is one of them, a meditation on gratitude. So you're welcome to join us wherever you're watching this video from, and whenever you're watching it, you're very welcome. I think we know how important gratitude is. It can really change our mood. It can change our perspective. It can change everything in the day when we take a moment to be grateful. So that's what we're going to do. I'm actually always think of a song from the Jewish tradition, Dayenu, when I think of gratitude. Not always, but I think of it a lot. I'll just sing. Bear with me 20 seconds, and so you get a flavor of it if you don't know it. Dayenu means it would be enough for us. So it basically means that'd do us. That'd be enough. And in the Dayenu song, it kind of goes like this: Dayenu, 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 Dayenu. Had he split the sea before us, but not fed us in the desert? Split the sea before us, well then Dayenu. And it goes on like that, and goes on verse after verse of saying all the things, and this takes place in the Passover tradition, saying all the things that God has done for us, and speaks about the liberation of the Jewish people, tells this sacred story through song, and says all the things. Well, I'm not going to talk about Passover here today, but what I like about Dayenu is it talks about, it goes on for verses and verses, and it thinks about all the things we have to be grateful for. And that's really important. It's counting our blessings, to use a common phrase. And counting our blessings can be so important, especially at a time like this, because we may often think about things we can't do and the things we miss. And there are, for those of us in lockdown, which is most of the world, I think, these days, there are many things we can't do, whether it be going to restaurants or seeing our friends, or so we can get pretty bitter about that. And it's okay to feel emotions about that. But gratitude can remind us of what the enormous list of things we have to be grateful for. And that's true, whatever our theology, whatever our perspective on the divine, we could all stand to be grateful. So it's a good thing for us to be as human beings, I think. So this meditation is for all ages. So children are welcome to take part in this. And what I invite you to do is to get comfortable. I'm sitting in a chair and taking a fairly comfortable position. You could do this lying down. You could even just listen to me as you're doing the dishes. I have a pretty bland background, so you may just want to listen to me. You don't have to watch. You can either close your eyes or you can stare at just softly at a point. Try not to, you could look around the room if you really want, but the idea is just to kind of listen and let the gratitude feel that inside. This is all about what happens inside. So I invite you to get comfortable. You might want to shake out your muscles a little bit. If you're feeling any tension, just try and observe it and then just kind of let it go. Notice your breathing. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Leave your worries behind if you can. If you're tempted to think about the shopping list or what you have to do next, that's fine. Just let it enter your mind and then just let it go. And come back to your breathing. Breathe in, breathe out. So we're going to think about what we're grateful for in this meditation. So as you're breathing and as you're in a comfortable position, we're going to start with animals. I know people are so important, but we'll get to them later. Why don't we start with animals and plants, nature? Now, we may not be able to go as far as sometimes we do, but you may have seen something out the window recently. Maybe you have a pet at home or animals outside or plants. So I invite you to take a moment to just think about them and be grateful for their existence in your life. What's something that you've seen lately, an animal or a plant? I invite you to think about it and just be grateful for it. Did you think of an animal? Well, let's spend some more time thinking about animals and plants. But we can be grateful, of course, for animals and plants that aren't nearby at all. Just the other day, I thought of an armadillo, and I don't think I've seen an armadillo around here. A beautiful, kind of funny-looking, got shells on them, sort of thing. Or giraffe. I love giraffes, and I've only ever seen giraffes in zoos, but you can still be grateful for them. So let's think about all the animals or plants on the earth. There's that famous hymn, all things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, all things wise and wonderful, the Lord God made them all. So let's think about the whole incredible diversity in creation, all these animals and plants. And let's take a moment to think how many you can think of, and try and just be grateful, be happy about each one. Let's take some time to think about the animals and plants that we're privileged to share this world with. So if you want to think for longer, you can always pause this video and keep thinking. But if you want to call out one of the animals or plants, and I know you may be alone in the room or you may have a family there, what was, if you want to, you can say what were some of the animals and plants that you thought of? I can't hear you through this video, but I would love to know. So you can even write me and let me know what animals and plants are on your heart. So let's continue with this gratitude list. All the things that would be enough if we had those, and we have so many things. Let's be grateful for simple pleasures. Now, the simple pleasures are the things happening in your life. Maybe you got to eat something yesterday that was really good, or maybe you're looking forward to eating something today, or maybe it's a book that you're reading, or a TV show that you're watching, or there's so many simple pleasures in the day. Maybe it's if you're fortunate to be able to walking, or going on a wheelchair ride, whatever it is that are the simple pleasures. We don't all have the same simple pleasures, but we have lots of them. So let's think about what we are privileged to do. And as we do, we'll breathe, which is a simple pleasure, breathing in and breathing out. So as you think of these pleasures, and I'll be silent in just a minute, I invite you to notice them. But you might even, as well as you're making a list, especially for adults, you might take a moment to actually feel it. You know, like if it's painting or drawing board games or reading a book, savor that. What is it experience? What does it feel like to be in the midst of that? And as you meditate on it, you might notice that some of your bodily reaction imitates what it's actually like. So take a moment to just savor what it is to have these simple pleasures of, feeling the fresh air, or having a nap, or whatever it is. So take a moment to actually experience that in your body and in your soul. So let's take a moment to savor the simple pleasures of life. So what are you grateful for? Again, if you want to call one out where you are and speak it aloud, I'll say for me I think I just about finished it, but a cup of coffee. And I may have a cup of tea later. So let's continue our list of gratitude. And this one, I think is a nice one to mention in the Dayenu tradition. Even if we didn't have these simple pleasures, or even if we didn't have so many wonderful animals and plants surrounding us, simply to be here is a gift, right? Existence. Now, I know it can be a hassle sometimes, and it can be full of challenges and woes and the vicissitudes of life, but we are here, and there's so many pleasures to that. So maybe we'll take a moment just to think about, we're grateful that we're here, that we get to experience this story, that we get to live our own life, and you live out our own character, whatever that is, our own personality, our own gifts. So let's take a moment to be glad to simply be here. It would be enough. What a gift to simply live this day. So we'll move on to people now, because I know so many of us, people are so important to us. And perhaps you might think about people, first of all, that you get to see, and I know that's less and less these days, in person, but you might be sharing a house with somebody. And if you are, I know it can be difficult sharing a house 24/7 with someone. But if you are grateful for them, even with it being whatever it is, and the challenges of living with a brother or a sister or a child or a parent or grandparent, whatever it is, that let's be grateful. And if you're on your own, there may be someone who helps and makes a delivery, or someone that you chat with on the phone. So there are people that we connect with every day. So let's take a moment to be grateful for the people we get to share our days with. We are so grateful for the people in our lives. And let's also think about the people who may not be near us, and some may have gone to glory indeed, but that are still always a part of our lives. So for the people far away that we may miss, but we still are very close to in love, let's take a moment to be grateful for all the people in our life. We hold these dear friends in our heart. So we've talked about people that we know, but let's extend it to all people and to society. We may not live in a perfect society. There may be things we want to change, but there's so much that's good about our global human community, as well as the community of the towns and cities that we live in, and the community of our nations. And we think of all the people who are in the medical community especially, who are doing such wonderful things, and all the people working to help one another. We're so grateful for this society. So let's take a moment to be grateful for what we have. It would be enough if we had the animals and the plants. It would be enough for simple pleasures. It would be enough to simply be here. And yet we have this collective community of people. So let us be grateful for the people who make this humanity. Let's take a moment to be grateful. So much courage and compassion and caring and wisdom in our world, and we are grateful for it. So we'll do one more, and this time it's whatever comes into your mind. I've made sort of a list, but by no means has it encapsulated everything. So this time we'll just be silent. Whatever pops into your mind that you're grateful for, you'd be surprised, at least I'm surprised sometimes when I do, what pops into my mind. So let's take a moment to just be silent and think whatever comes in about what you're grateful for. Amen. And again, do you want to say what came into your mind? So this was a gratitude list, counting our blessings. And if you want to do it again, I know it may have been too slow for some and much too quick for others. You may want it to linger on gratitude, which is a very nice thing to do. I went in order. I talked about the natural world, animals and plants, and then simple pleasures. And then the third thing was existence itself, simply being here. And then the people, both people near to us that we share every day with and people far away. And then society, people, the whole global community, and then anything else. So you can do that at your own speed and just think about those. You can do it every day. You probably come up with something different. So, Dayenu, it would be enough for us. We have so much. It would be enough for us if we just got to live our own, live one day on this planet, but we get to live many days. It would be enough for us for a couple of animals and plants, but there are thousands of other species that we share this beautiful, beautiful planet with us. It'd be enough to have a couple people in our lives, but those couple people that we love so greatly, and there's even more that we get to know a little bit and get to see a little bit of what makes them charming. There is so much. Dayenu, it would be enough, and yet it's more than enough. It's an abundance. So that's the end of the meditation. I promised you a song, so I'll sing this song. If you don't want to sing, you can always just stop the video here. But this, again, is from the often sung at Passover, at the Seder, and it's Dayenu, and it talks about the Jewish story. Again, I reinterpreted it for kind of a general prayer. But Dayenu, which means it would be enough. So you won't get the verses, but the chorus you'll get right away. So just sing along to the chorus, and let's do 4 verses. You really should do like 12, but we'll do 4. Had he brought us out of Egypt, but not split the sea before us, brought us out of Egypt, well then Dayenu, 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 Dayenu. Dayenu. You got that right? Had he split the sea before us, but not fed us in the desert, split the sea before us, well then Dayenu, 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 manna only, but not brought us to Mount Sinai, fed us with the manna, well then Dayenu, 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 Dayenu. Had he brought us to Mount Sinai, but not given us commandments, brought us to Mount Sinai, well then Dayenu. Last one, ready? Dayenu, 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 Dayenu. Well, friends, I am grateful for you. And I may know you, and if I do, I'm looking forward to when I get to see you again. Or I mean, we may have never met, but I'm very grateful for you. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope gratitude is a blessing even in the most difficult times, and a joy on top of the most wonderful times. Grateful to be here. Grateful for you. Blessed be.